Hey everyone, so this is my question and answer video and it's a bit more casual than some of my other videos. I'm just sitting here with my legs crossed wearing a sloppy joe. I haven't done my hair because I think I might be dyeing it tonight, so I just really didn't bother doing anything with it. But yeah, I hope you guys don't mind. What I've done is I've printed out a list of the questions that you've asked me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and here on YouTube, and some of the questions that were similar I've kind of grouped together and formed a question that covers them all. So let's get through them. I'll try to get through as many as possible because there were a lot of questions, but if you want I can do these videos every now and then, and feel free to leave your questions below if I haven't answered them in this one, if you wanted to know anything else, and I can film another one. So first question, and they're in no particular order. What's your favourite nail polish colour? I really like Pacific Blue by Sally Hansen, if you hadn't already guessed. I think it's just the perfect shade of blue and I really like it. Would you ever move from Australia? We've thought about it, but we've just got too many commitments here and we've got too much family and it would be hard to live so far away from them. We had thought about New Zealand and America, but yeah, it's just a bit difficult. Your favourite accent besides Aussie? I like a well-spoken English accent as well. I really like the sound of the English accent. Favourite high-end makeup brand? I don't actually have a favourite high-end makeup brand. I don't think I've used enough of any particular high-end brand to actually have a favourite. I've got mainly Inglot and MAC, but I don't think they class as high-end. Even though they're really expensive here in Australia, I still think they're quite mid-range as far as brands go. They're not quite drugstore or low-end brands. I think they sit in the middle. And that's what most of my collection is. I don't really have a lot of high-end products, so I don't really have a favourite brand. Have you ever stopped buying nail polish? I have. Believe it or not, there are times where I don't feel like buying nail polish. But mainly when there's just nothing out, nothing new, no new colours, or when I'm on a spending ban, for example. What pets do you have? I've got two pets. They are two toy poodles and they're chocolate brown. They're 4.5 years old and they're both boys. What concerts have you been to? I've been to quite a few concerts. The first concert that I went to was a Kylie Minogue concert in 1997, and I was either 12 or 13 at the time. And then I think it would have been, I went to see Sunk Lotto and Sick Puppies were there as well, and that would have been about 99 or 2000. I've also seen Evanescence, I think 3 times, Limp Bizkit in 2001, Big Day Out the same year, Incubus I think once, and the Eagles. Some of you are younger ones out there will have no idea who they are. How did you tell your family that you do YouTube videos and what did they say? I just told them I'm making YouTube videos and sometimes they watch them as well. They were fine with it. Describe Dom in one word. So for those of you that don't know, it's Dom Smiles, another Aussie beauty girl here on YouTube. I would say passionate, because I think she puts a lot of effort into everything that she does and she's always so energetic and charismatic, and I think it all comes under being passionate about it and passionate about the content that she's creating. How long have you been collecting nail polish for? I've always liked nail polish, even when I was younger, but actually collecting it, I think that would have been around 2004. I seriously started collecting it, and that was when I started to collect the OPI, and then it all kind of spiraled out of control from there. Where am I up to? Okay, what sort of thing do you do for your job in the finance industry? So a lot of you guys know that I work within the finance industry, and I still do. I have changed jobs and changed companies, but I still work within the finance industry, more around a customer focused type role. So difficult clients, problem solving cases, systemic issue type things, problem management, that kind of a thing. So yeah, it's mainly dealing with hard to deal with people. I have to have a lot of patience and be able to listen really well and have a lot of empathy. So yeah. How old were you when you started wearing makeup? I really didn't wear much makeup all the way through high school. I really wasn't that interested. It would have been when I was about 20 years old I started getting into makeup, maybe late 19, but about 20 at 20 years old. That's when I first got introduced to MAC, and I still remember some of the first products that I bought from MAC. Now I'm pretty sure that was in 2004. But yeah, I did wear makeup for dancing competitions when I was younger, but it's a bit different because it's not really, you know, you have to, pretty much for the dancing comps that I did. But yeah, outside of that, I would have been about 20. So yeah. Are you going to have kids? I had a few people ask that, and I think one day I will. I'm 28 now, and I'm really in no rush to have children. I'm personally not ready yet. There are a few things that I want to do, and I want to become a bit more stable in my finances and my situation, and have some more finances behind me so I can give my children or my child the best possible life and experience and everything that I would want to give them. And that's just me personally. It'll happen one day. I don't know how many children, maybe, you know, 2. I wouldn't want any more than 2, but 1 or 2, but probably not for another 5 years or so. How did you and your fiance meet? We actually met online on an online dating website. Did you ever hate your pale skin? I never really hated my pale skin. I don't like the fact that it's not even. If it was like smooth and creamy and even. I've got a lot of pigmentation and freckles and things like that all over my body, and that kind of annoys me because it's not really smooth. Sometimes it looks a bit blemished even when it's not a blemish or a pimple as such, but it's more pigmentation. But I kind of like my pale skin. I don't bother tanning or fake tanning. I just embrace it, and I think it can really look really good with dark hair and light eyes and red lips, and it has that really nice contrast. So, you know, make it work. One makeup item you can't leave the house without. Lip balm, definitely. Where do you see yourself in 10 years time? So in 10 years time I will be 38 years old. I don't know. Probably in a new house, a different house to this house, hopefully. Hopefully that's within 5 years. Might have a child. I'll definitely be married because that's happening next year. But apart from that, I just don't try to plan too far ahead. I have goals that I want to achieve, but I just let things happen. And yeah, so roughly I guess that's what'll be happening. Maybe. If you could only wear one nail polish colour for the rest of your life, what would it be? You know the answer. It's Pacific Blue. I love it. I think it goes with everything, even though it probably doesn't. If you could only shop in one store for the rest of your life, which store would it be? Target. You can get almost anything from Target, and I'm not a high fashion kind of girl. I am not very fashionable at all. Most of my clothes come from Target and I'm quite happy with that. I like the way they look, so I'd stick to that. What's the largest amount of things you've ever bought on a shopping trip? Probably I'm at LA this year. I went nuts, but I'd been planning for it, so I think that's okay. What would be your dream honeymoon destination? I don't know. I like doing things. I mean, we're probably going to end up going back to Hawaii because we both really enjoy Hawaii. So I guess that would be a fairly good dreamy honeymoon destination. What's your favourite song? Oh, good one. I've got a lot of different favourite songs. I don't have one in particular. I like Open Door by Evanescence, or Good Enough by Evanescence. I like both of those songs. Have you always had a picture of how you would like your wedding day to be? And no, not really. I was never the girl to dream or plan my wedding. I'm kind of easygoing like that. I'm just sort of letting it happen and not worrying about it too much. I've never had this vision, and growing up I was never really planning anything. So I'm just kind of letting it turn out the way it is. Do you have any allergies? I don't have any like bad allergies like eggs or nuts or anything like that. But I am lactose intolerant and I'm gluten intolerant, so yeah, but no real major allergies. Which side of the bed do you sleep on? So if you are standing at the base of my bed facing the pillows, I sleep on the left. Normally I sleep the closest to the door because I don't like being next to the window. Okay. Why do you never use high-end makeup, NARS, Chanel, Bobbi Brown in your tutorials? I kind of already covered this, I guess, but I just don't own enough. I think I've got one Bobbi Brown product and it's a shimmer brick. I've got two NARS products and they're both blushes. And I've got some Chanel gloss smears, but some of them are now just for reference purposes. And I think about 3 of them I can still use, but you can't really do a full face with 3 lip glosses, a blush and a shimmer brick. So I don't really have a lot of high-end products myself. I just don't really use them. I don't buy them. They're way too expensive here in Australia to really buy anyway, unless, you know, you are limiting yourself to a particular type of brand. But I'm quite happy with, say, Inglot, a mid-range, or MAC, a mid-range brand. So that's why I don't really use them in tutorials, because I don't have them. Do you like Vegemite? Yes, I love Vegemite. At what age did you start YouTube, and what should the beginners start YouTube? Okay, I started my YouTube channel, I think it's 3 years ago now, so I would have been 25-ish. I mean, obviously if you're under 18 or 16, you should definitely speak with your parents before putting anything out there on the internet, because once it's out, that's it. It can also be quite a dangerous place, particularly for younger people, to put too much information out there as well. I think as long as you're sensible about, you know, what content you're putting out there and what information you're putting out there about yourself, then it's fine. I think you can do it at any age within limits, and making sure that it's still appropriate, or your content is age appropriate for you. I wouldn't really recommend, say if you're an 8-year-old or a 12-year-old and you may really like makeup and really like beauty, I probably wouldn't recommend you get into it, because the internet as well, there are a lot of really horrible, nasty people that just have nothing better to do than leave horrible comments. So if you are a little self-conscious, and you let the comments get to you, or if you're the type of person that really gets affected by that, I'd probably recommend holding off, waiting until you're a bit older and a bit more comfortable in your own skin, or you're able to just ignore those types of comments, because you are going to get them. You know, that's just a part of it, unfortunately. And it doesn't mean that they're true, and it doesn't mean that you should pay attention to them, because I mean, most of them are a load of crap anyway, so half the time it just makes me laugh and I don't really care. But some people do, so I think all of that needs to be taken into consideration, and everyone's different. There are some people my age that, you know, wouldn't be able to do it because it just impacts them or affects them too much, and it's not worth it. So make sure you're not making yourself uncomfortable, make sure you're keeping your videos age appropriate and your content age appropriate, and if you are quite young, ask your parents first, because realistically, you know, they want you to be safe, so make sure that you're doing the right thing. Maybe they can help you with it. What else? Okay. Who do you love to watch and always watch their videos on YouTube? I have a few people that I enjoy watching. I love Daily Grace. I also like 11th Gorgeous. They are fantastic girls. Other videos that I always watch. Lisa Eldridge. Always watch her videos. There's so many. There's lots that I always watch, like Emily. Pixie Woo Sisters. There's a lot of them that I've subscribed to so many people. I spend half my life on YouTube, I think. Okay, next. What video did you most enjoy filming and why? I liked filming the random things in the room video. That was fun. It's just something different, something, you know, not so serious, and just a bit of fun. Okay. When you're filming, how long does it take for you to prep, set up, edit and upload? Depends on the video. For something like this, the prep time isn't that great. It's more just compiling the questions and sitting down and filming it. Editing it can take a little while, depending on how many scenes that I need to cut and piece together, and if I want to add any bloopers in and that kind of thing. Uploading for this video, if I do it in HD, because it's probably going to be over 20 minutes, it's probably going to take 3 hours to upload to YouTube. So a makeup tutorial, they normally take me about an hour to an hour and 45 minutes to film, and then editing can take anywhere between 1 to 3 hours. It just depends, but on average anywhere between, say, 3 to 8 hours per video. What is a good brand or two that I could get a lot of to start my collection at a reasonable price? Realistically, I think most drugstore or chemist brands are fairly reasonable these days. You can find a lot of products, so Australis is fine. Rimmel I think is great. There's a Models Preferred brand in Australia that's quite reasonable as well. Even things like CoverGirl, Maybelline, Revlon for your more higher end drugstore brands. I think that personally I love Inglot, and I really do like MAC, but I'm starting to lean more towards Inglot personally. So if you have a little bit more money, or you want to just get a few less items but something that I feel is a really good quality product, I would go for Inglot. Even go into a store, try them out, see how you like them. But that's definitely a good way to start. If you're just experimenting with colour, just buy a cheaper brand, like a Quad. Even if you've got NYX near you, that would be fantastic, because their eyeshadows are great, but we don't really get NYX or Wet n Wild here. So brands like that are good if you can get them. If not, brands like CoverGirl, Maybelline, Revlon, when they have the quads, the eyeshadow quads, they're really good to try as well. Let's see. What made you want to start making videos? I actually started watching a couple of videos, and one of the first girls that I watched was Jodie Ness, another Aussie beauty girl here, and it just seemed like a lot of fun, and I had a passion for makeup and beauty already, and I like helping people, and I thought, you know, I can do this, and it was, yeah, just sort of went from that. What's your favourite makeup brand and why? Inglot, I think, because it's a good mid-range, mid-price bracket brand, but the quality is really good. I mainly like their eyeshadows, I do like their lipsticks, but I kind of need to branch out and try their foundations and powders. I haven't tried a lot of those yet, but I love their eyeshadows. The colour range is fantastic, the quality is great, for the price it's amazing, and I really like the design of their palettes, so definitely Inglot. MAC is a close second, but it's more expensive than Inglot, and I think they're fairly comparable. What places of the world have you visited? I've been fairly fortunate enough, particularly growing up, that I did get to travel a lot. So I've been to, within Australia, I've been to Tasmania, Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, and New South Wales, obviously. I've been to New Zealand once, I've been to Fiji once, I've been to Hong Kong and Italy. I've been to Hawaii twice, 3 times, sorry. And I've been to the States twice, the actual mainland. And I lived in Papua New Guinea. That's it. So that's quite a lot still. But yeah, so I've been very fortunate that I was able to travel a lot when I was younger. So a lot of those places I went to when I was a child. Do you speak any foreign languages? No, I'm really bad at other languages. Sometimes I struggle with English, but no, unfortunately I can't. Is YouTube your job, or do you work or do something else as your job? So I already kind of answered this one up above, but no, YouTube is just a hobby. It's definitely not a job for me at all. It just can't be, unfortunately. And I kind of like to just keep it as a hobby, keep it fun. I'm really just doing it for the passion of it, the hobby of it. It's something to do, it's something I can share with you guys, and I enjoy it. So yeah, it's definitely not my job though. I've got a full-time job. Let's see. Did you go to TAFE or university? I did start going to university. I was doing a media advertising communications degree with teaching as well, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't something I enjoyed doing, so I just left. I didn't continue with it, and that's fine with me. But yeah, it just wasn't the kind of thing that I wanted to be doing. Any thoughts about your wedding dress? Yes, I know the dress that I want, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'll keep it a surprise. Product that you would repurchase: MAC Studio Fix Press Powder. It's a multiple repurchase. I really like it. If any one of your international followers were to visit Australia, what places would you say are an absolute must for him or her to go to? It depends on where you're coming from, and it depends on where you're going to. But if you're coming from somewhere without a beach, then definitely check out the Aussie beaches. Make sure if you're swimming though you do pay attention to the signs, because you don't want to get caught in a current or you get dragged against the rocks. So be very careful, particularly if you're going to an unmonitored beach, so a beach with no lifeguards. So just, yeah, swim between the flags. Also watch out for jellyfish in certain beaches, certain times of the year. But if you're worried, just go to one of the main beaches, and they're still really beautiful, and you can ask. The Blue Mountains, they're really pretty, also in New South Wales. Sydney Harbour Bridge, Opera House of course. I mean, if you're from Australia and you have any recommendations, just leave them down below as well for those of you that might be travelling here. But it depends on what you want to see. We've got lots of nice natural things here, like the mountains and waterfalls and the deserts and all sorts of stuff. So it depends on what you want to see and where you're coming from. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? About 15 minutes maybe. I don't really have a very good morning routine. I just kind of get up, brush my hair, put it back, put on some lip balm and go. And the last one, otherwise this video is going to go for too long. How old were you when you started wearing makeup, and did your parents have a problem with it? So I kind of already answered this, but it's a bit extra. I was 20 years old when I started really wearing makeup, and no, they really didn't have a problem with it because I was 20. So, had a job, had a full-time job, was buying everything for myself anyway, and yeah, they were fine with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please, if you have any comments or questions for another question and answer video, leave them below. Don't forget to check out my social media sites and follow me to keep in touch, and also for updates and little special things as well that might pop up from time to time. So all my links are down there. Also some of my recent videos are down there as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in my next video.